The British police believe these are the men who attempted to assassinate a double agent on the streets of the UK. Alexander Petrov and Ruslan Boshirov, probably aliases, are now the prime suspects in the attempted murder of Sergei Skripal. The police have images of the two men near the Skripal's house, apparently moments before Novichok was smeared on the front door. The Skripals were found slumped near their home in Salisbury. The case has caused a massive diplomatic rift with Russia, which has consistently said the UK could provide no proof that it was responsible. The UK now believes that is exactly what it has. And not only that, the Prime Minister said to a stunned Parliament, the British security services believe the two men are military intelligence officers of the Russian state.
I can today tell the House that based on a body of intelligence, the government has concluded that the two individuals named by the police and CPS are officers from the Russian Military Intelligence Service, also known as the GRU. The GRU is a highly disciplined organisation with a well-established chain of command. So this was not a rogue operation. It was almost certainly also approved outside the GRU at a senior level of the Russian state.
After months of work, the police have offered a detailed timeline of the movements of the two prime suspects. They say the Russians flew from Moscow to London Gatwick Airport on Aeroflot Flight 2588 on March the 2nd. They then stayed at a hotel in East London before catching a train to Salisbury on the afternoon of March the 3rd and returning to London on the same day. They then repeated the trip on Sunday, March the 4th, where the police say CCTV footage shows them near the Skripal's house. By the evening, they'd left London and were flying back to Moscow on Aeroflot 2585. At the hotel in East London, the police say they found trace elements of Novichok, so small that they didn't pose a risk to health, but it still counts as evidence.
We know that part of their movements between the 2nd and 4th of March were to stay at the City Stay Hotel in Bow. We know the room they stayed in. We know that when we found out who they were and we found out which hotel they stayed in, on the 2nd of May, we took control of that room in the hotel. And in that room, we found low traces of Novichok.
Both the police and international chemical agent body, the OPCW, have said it was the same batch of Novichok that was used against the Skripals, which then killed Dawn Sturgis and seriously injured her boyfriend Charlie Rowley. They had found a fake perfume case with a bottle inside, adapted to release the Novichok. The couple had assumed it was perfume, and she sprayed the Novichok on herself. This case and that of the Skripals are now directly being linked in the criminal inquiry. At exactly the point when the British police were briefing journalists in London about all this, the Russian Foreign Ministry was tweeting this derogatory video, comparing Prime Minister May's dancing ability with that of the Foreign Ministry spokeswoman. As a signal, it could hardly have said, "We don't care," any more bluntly. The last time the UK had prime suspects in an attack on a spy, it was the Alexander Litvinenko case, which ended with Andrei Lugovoy, named as one of the killers, eventually made a member of the Russian Parliament. The UK can't get the two prime suspects in the Skripal case extradited. It's against Russian law. In any way, it would be hardly worth the effort. The Skripals have survived, but UK-Russian relations are stuck in the freezer. Laurence Lee, Al Jazeera, London.